I'm too scared to start the podcast. It's the Halloween episode and I'm already too scared. There's no episode this week. No episode because I got scared. But at least I got scared for good reason. Ghoulies. What if there's ghoulies? What are ghoulies? They're just ghouls, right? They're not like small ghouls. Are they dead children? I really would be scared of that, if that were around. Good thing there isn't. No dead kids around here, so don't worry about it. There's no such thing as ghosts, nobody's ever been haunted, and nothing like that has ever happened. Because guess what? If it had, it would have been in the news. I'm going to begin this podcast by doing something I've never done before. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up with a mic instead of sitting. Just see if anything's different about it. Now, how high can this go? That's the question. Oh, okay. So the mic doesn't go all the way up. It just... Okay. So, just first impressions. I'm crouched over and it's very uncomfortable. But things do look different up here. I look down, it's still just my body that I see. It just looks different. And I can see, all the way to my toes. Obesity is a serious problem, but I don't know, at what point I would become worried. Like, if I look down and there's a curvature to me, like I'd have to rely on a Mercator projection just to put on my belt. I think at that point I'd be like, maybe I have to do something. But I can't really say that because I'm not a fat person. I've said I'm famous for not being fat. It doesn't really matter what I eat, I can't gain any weight, which could be a problem in itself. It could actually be just as serious, if not more so. But I've always been this way. I never had a fat period, a comma. Wow, my thoughts are weirder when I'm standing up. That surprises me because I've been standing a lot of my life. 50% of the time, at any given time you run into me, I'm probably standing. The other half of the time, I'm sitting. Actually, that's not technically correct. There is, of course, a third position, which everybody calls going to sleep. They're like, "Good night, honey, I'm entering the third position." She'll know exactly what you're talking about. Sitting, it's not adventurous enough. That's why I like to spice it up and, like to tuck my legs under my ass. I call it cat style. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to go to the leg doctor. Leg doctor's like, got something on your leg you want me to look at? Well, see a dermatologist. So you go to the leg doctor, you say, "I think I pulled a muscle in my leg. Can you take a look?" And he's like, "Muscle's not part of the leg, it's part of the muscle system." So you come in again, you say, "Leg doctor, I think I have a circulatory issue in my legs." And he'll say, "That's a circulatory issue. Go see a circulation person." He essentially deconstructs the concept of a leg. It's giving Theseus. It's like, so what do you do? And he says to you, if you have an issue with legs as a concept, I can help you with that. But don't show me your legs. I don't even allow shorts in my office. I hate legs. So then you just leave and you're like, I gotta get better insurance with more stuff that's in network. This is the only guy within a 150-mile radius who even has a medical degree. If you narrow down your options on your insurance map or whatever, you can get more results if you just search for people who've watched season 1 of House. If you have some 1 in 1 million condition like hair spiders, House figured that out. And he did it in a way that was irreverent, snarky, and fully legal. Well, I've been standing here now for a little while, and, standing up puts so much pressure on your spinal column. That's why pretty much all of us get back problems eventually. The human skeleton wants you on all fours. The human skeleton is it's kind of weird with it, but, that's what it likes. And if you think about it, it's true. We didn't evolve with chairs. We just had the idea to make them. Anything we had the idea to make that didn't already exist in nature kind of found a way to make our lives more shitty. We can't have one win. Humans take the L again. on skeletons having. You know who doesn't have that problem? A grasshopper. How do we have more problems than grasshoppers? Something went wrong. I'm standing here and I'm telling you this. I'm literally standing here and telling you this. Using this fuck-ass skeleton to hunch over, and yes, I'm still hunched over. You think I'm making this up? You think this is a bit? This is real life. Sometimes it's not what you want to see or hear. I get it. I don't want to hear this podcast. The only reason I record it is so I have something to play in the middle of the day so that people think I'm home and they don't try to rob me. You can't just put on Price is Right in the middle of the day, because then would-be thieves are listening. They're like, okay, Drew Carey is definitely not at his house every single day. At the same time, maybe for a couple of days, but this is getting suspicious to us, and we're burglars. I don't think I have much to steal, so... Look, I hope this doesn't dox me, but I live on a lily pad. Why do they call them lily pads, huh? Why don't they call them, See, I can't do stand-up comedy right now because I'm not standing up fully. I can only halfway do stand-up comedy. All setups, no punchlines. By the way, if you do want to know my location and you do want to rob me, I don't live anywhere. My address is 123 Nowhere Street. There ain't shit here. It's like my brain. I think I'm at the point where I'm sort of like done thinking. I haven't thought everything that I'm ever gonna think, but I think I've thunk every thought that I need to think. And it feels like standing at the edge of this great blue abyss of just no longer needing thought, no longer requiring it. Like you don't have to hitch a wagon to that star anymore. Now you're the star. If I actually did that, that would make more sense than what's probably going to happen, which is I'm going to continue to have thoughts, most likely, but they feel more and more like little toys you can play with, and then you're like, I think I'm good with the toys now. What comes after this? Presumably through life you get wiser, you become more informed, ideally, and that process is valuable for the sake of itself, of just getting better at thinking, if that's even a concept that makes sense. But when you get to the end of that, it's like, all right, what was that building towards? It's like you just die and you say on your deathbed, like, you guys all gotta give it up for me, I got really good at thinking. And your last thought was about thinking. How stupid is that? So I'm starting the post-thinking movement. Never think again. If we could start a church, we would, but we'd have to think about it. You'd have to think about coming. That's why I don't think the answers lie, at least not entirely, in religion. They can sort of point you there, but in other ways, the thing that makes it all make sense goes beyond any concept. So the answer to all of that is something that's not thought. So good luck with that. The next segment that everybody has been... Honestly, it's kind of getting inappropriate, but people have been putting threats on my life saying, if you don't start doing this segment, we're not sure what's going to happen, but your insurance is not going to cover it. We will make sure. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be fucking easy. But this next segment, of course, is the freestyle dance segment. I did it, I think, one other time. I don't know why you guys want a dance segment on an audio-only podcast, but I'm nothing if not a man of the people, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna find some good-ass public domain tunes. There's some shit that really slaps, legally. That's right, okay, yeah, I can get into this, okay. Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, got some moves going. But hey, it's a pretty good time. I'll invite my friend Glass Johnson. Everybody knows Glass Johnson, my trusty sidekick. He's known commonly as just a normal-looking drinking glass, but he is sentient, he is conscious, he is here with us. He told me he was afraid of the freestyle dance segment because he thought I would get a little too out of control and knock him over and destroy him completely, thus sending his soul to hell. I don't know what he thinks he's done. If you don't know, Glass Johnson is a legend in broadcasting. He was on Carson. He was the drinking glass in a few episodes, and he's gone on to make a lucrative career from it, and I'm grateful to have him here. But I feel like I should say he was totally pro-Vietnam. Not the country, the conflict. He loved Nixon. He thought Nixon was gonna nuke China, and that's why he voted for him. And nobody talks about this. Every time I put it on the wiki, it always gets scrubbed. Unlike Glass Johnson, by the way, who is looking, he's starting to look his age. I'll just say that. And for those of you who don't know, he can't communicate or really do anything. He's literally a drinking glass. He only speaks through dreams with his agent. Look, I've been over all of this. This is Purgatory Podcast 101. Glass Johnson's agent communicates with Glass Johnson in dreams. The agent acts on Glass Johnson's behalf in all matters. By the way, I'm still dancing. I don't know how to stop the music. By the way, and I'll tell you one more thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, but I have to say it. Glass Johnson, avid voter. He votes in every election. He votes in primaries, midterms, everything. On every ballot, he adds another bubble, and he writes in, "Would you like whatever war is going on right now to continue?" And he fills in yes. He thinks that's gonna work. Glass Johnson, you know who drank out of Glass Johnson? Kissinger. Look at the pictures. Like, if you're a Glass Johnson stan, I don't know what to tell you with it. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a call. Well, predictably, I guess I should have foreseen this. This is Glass Johnson's agent calling to... Hello?
Hey, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris. Look, do you challenge anything I said? It's all a matter of public record.
I feel like I should mention, I'm actually representing a cup. Cup Johansson.
Cup? What is this world coming to?
Cup Johansson is actually the manager of Glass Johnson. I just represent Cup Johansson. I only communicate with her in dreams. And Cup Johansson says, all that information is hearsay, not proven to be true.
Dude, I read the court filings. I saw everything in the deposition.
These were fabricated documents that were never meant to be seen.
It's
and
on
they're not
record.
real. They were private, but they're also fake.
Okay, well, why did Kissinger say Glass Johnson was one of my closest friends and confidants, and I wish I could drink the blood of my enemies from him?
Okay, look, I'm gonna have to sleep on it.
You're gonna have to what?
I gotta sleep on it because that's the only way to communicate with Cup Johansson and have an official response from my client.
This is so fucking stupid. Okay, well, you can ask Cup Johansson. Do you promise to ask her that?
Sure, but I'll have to go through her agent.
You have to go through her. Who's her agent?
Well, her agent is a monk.
Who's represented by a human, and that's who you actually have to deal with.
Correct.
Okay, so this is just a bunch of human beings who share the most specific psychotic delusion that exists. Are you telling me Glass Johnson isn't even actually sentient?
Well, consciousness is a tricky concept. It's known as the hard
Oh my
problem.
fucking god, Glass Johnson isn't real? Guys, Glass Johnson has been to the White House. Glass Johnson dated Mary Tyler Moore for 3 months.
Alright, look, I'm gonna take a nap right now, and I'll try to get an answer to you by morning. How does that sound?
Alright, fine, thank you for calling in. This sucks. I gotta sit down. I gotta sit down after hearing this. Glass Johnson was like the biggest star power we had, and now I don't know. Well, I gotta bring out Slurp on Lipstick. I'm really upset. The host of Time Check, Slurp on Lipstick, is here, and we should welcome him warmly. Please give a round of applause for the host of Time Check, Slurp on Lipstick. Give it up. Hello, thank you so much. I am the host of Time Check, Slurp on Lipstick, and just right off the bat, I did come in my Halloween costume, and I feel like a moron, because my costume this year is Glass Johnson, so this is bad timing. This is like when that big explosion happened in Beirut in 2020, and my Halloween costume that year happened to be 2,700 tons of improperly stored ammonium nitrate. I'm like, are you kidding me? This always happens. A lot of people are doing Slurp-on lipstick Halloween costumes this year. It's weird because I'm not that famous, but people want to make fun of me, I guess, in caricature, because they put on these terrible masks that look like a hideous monster. I'm like, I don't look like that. What are you doing? And they're like, this is what you look like on the inside. I'm like, people are just so mean these days. All I do is tell you what time it is. And I'm doing it like no one ever has. I'm even doing it like I never have. I'm also standing up, and I would like to sit, but I can't due to my incredibly complicated and fragile Halloween costume. Yeah, I used real glass. I thought I'd commit for once, but this is what I get. Alright, I can't stand this. I'm just gonna sit down and risk it. I think it'll be fine. It'll hold up. It was made by an Italian glass blower. His name was Michelangelo. He did a pretty good... Oh no. Oh, damn it. Ow. Yeah, I'm fine. The time is 9:14. Happy 9:14. Ooh, ow, God, ow. On this All Hallows Eve, my 7 young identical sons are, of course, I'm sure you would guess this, going as the 7 deadly sins, and their costumes, I mean, I don't even know what to say. They're horrible. I don't think I've ever vomited for 7 different reasons, but they're my boys, and this is what they want to dress as. And if I even touch one of them, I get zapped, which is fine. I don't want to touch them, but they won't explain why. They seem like they know, but they won't explain it. They're calling me right now. Hello? I'm cool with Dad, if we're on that level yet. Also, with those costumes, you guys are either gonna get tons of candy or no candy at all. I think you guys are gonna be divisive. I don't have a barometer on the zeitgeist at the moment because I got a lot of stuff going on in my own life.
Father, we are trying to get around to Clever Dylan's house for a Halloween party.
You guys are kind of young to go to a Halloween party. You should just be trick-or-treating. How old are you?
When we were born is of no importance.
As my sons, I know you're very private. Also, who is Clever Dylan?
Clever Dylan is the coolest guy in all of our grid.
If he's cool and he likes your costumes, then they're good. They're like a form of artistic expression on the level of like Gigi Allen or something like that. If he doesn't think they're good, then they suck. Also, aren't you guys scary enough, like, as you are? Well, that proves my point. The scariest response is always ominous silence. Look, I gotta go, kids. I'll pick you up. Will you introduce me to Clever Dylan?
Sure, he's always looking to make connections.
Cool, he sounds chill as fuck. I've been Slurp-on Lipstick. This has been Time Check. Happy 9:13. Get it? Because that was the time when I did Time Check? Anybody give a fuck? No, you just okay, so I have to leave? I have to leave when they clap. Okay, bye. Give it up for Time Check, everybody. I was not paying attention. I was on the lookout for ghosts. I was on ghost duty. I mean, I've lived in this building for a while, so I think if there were dead kids around, I would know about it by now. They wouldn't show up and be like, oh shit, I forgot to haunt you. Chances are, if you're being haunted by a kid ghost, if you're a kid person, I feel like you could deal with a kid ghost. Whereas adult ghosts, they've had time to get like pissed off about, you know, how shitty their car is or whatever. By the end of their life, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna throw a cup a little bit. I'm gonna move some stuff around the kitchen. I get it, but don't take it out on cutlery, you know? Talk to me. You know, put voices in my head or something. That would be way easier. We can work this out. But so far, no ghosts. Never seen a ghost. Now, a Frankenstein. And here's a question that just needs to be cleared up. Is Lurch from the Addams Family like a Frankenstein? Because we're watching the original Addams Family, and I'm like, so Lurch is a zombie? or just a guy who happens to be like that. Same thing for Uncle Fester. The fuck happened to that guy? In an early episode in the first season, I saw a young Don Rickles. I did. I've seen things you people want to believe. I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've seen a young Don Rickles. I didn't know that existed. I thought he was just born that way, like Lurch. Another show you could be watching is, what's on TV? Boogerman? I've seen Boogerman. I saw Boogerman 1, saw Boogerman 2. And Boogerman gets picked at the end of Boogerman 2, so I know there's not gonna be a third one. Boogerman 2 was a farce. It had none of the meaning, none of the profound subtext that Boogerman 1 had. And I felt that its handling of race was clumsy at best compared to Boogerman 1. But yeah, there's just like nothing on TV, and you just have to live in real life. There's more like resolution, there's more detail to real life. Not just visually, but in every other way. It's like you want your life to be like a story, well, stories have to have problems. Ask Joseph Campbell. So I guess what I'm telling you is you should start creating problems in your life. I think that's what I'm saying. Well, I guess it'd be more accurate to say you should open yourself up to more experiences, accepting that some of them will be bad. Like you might die as a child and haunt somebody, which again is not something that is happening anywhere. They banned it. They made it illegal to be a ghost. That's why you don't see any from like before 100 years ago. They said souls go to hell, go to heaven. Choose one or the other. There are two afterlives. Of course, you'll remember when Biden was asked how many genders there are, and he paused for a moment and was like, at least 3. Check. And they were like, can you follow up? And he's like, gotta go. And he ran faster than it's physically possible for his body to move through space. His particular body, shouldn't have been possible. Especially with his condition now, which we know is cancer. Yep, that sucks. Well, this has been the cancer segment on the Purgatory Podcast. Nobody wants to sponsor that one? No one's interested? Not even like a cancer foundation, perhaps? Nobody wants to do good in this rotten world? This world of children getting candy for free? You expect people to just hand out candy, aka the SNAP benefits of Halloween? If you need nutrition so much, write your representative, and they will ignore that and instead continue doing what they do best, which is making up the rules as they go, and saying, we don't have to tap into the $5 billion in contingency funding set aside specifically for these types of scenarios, where the USDA used to have a page on its website outlining how it's legally obligated to continue giving out those benefits in the event of a federal government shutdown. That page suddenly no longer exists. And Mike Johnson's actual argument is it's not legally possible. He's aware of many other legal possibilities, which he's fine with, including extrajudicial murder of foreigners without any due process. That one's good because with that one you can shoot a guy. But the SNAP thing, that just helps people. It's not like you can shoot the benefits at them. That's the most generous possible reading. That's like what a 7-year-old would think. It's like, well, maybe they just like big guns. I like guns too. Dude, I wish I was 7. This would all make way more sense. The world has become 7 years old. You thought it was millions of years old? No, we're only 7. That's why we're still doing this stupid shit. Mike Johnson, I don't want any harm to come to him. But what I would like to see happen to him is that he's locked in his home forever and he's not allowed to communicate with the outside world. What if it was legally possible to just do that to any politician who just sucks? It's like, oh, you like your big house so much? Well, hope you really like it. I think that's fair. It would suck for like Fetterman because I think he lives in a cave or something. I just look at him and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, it just looks like it sucks to be that guy. It's like the American people need help, but I think you need help more. So fix yourself. Check yourself before you wreck a constitutional republic. I can't think of anything scarier to top that with. I can talk about the fact that I haven't had pumpkin spice yet this fall. And I'm willing to go on record once again and put everything out there, and I'm willing to say Starbucks pumpkin spice cold brew. Folks, you gotta give it up. It's actually pretty good. This podcast episode, of course, brought to you by Starbucks. Every single opinion expressed therein, Starbucks signs off on it. I totally endorse everything they do as well. I will become the basic white girl that Starbucks wants me to be. I'm gonna start wearing Uggs, and I'm gonna start calling myself Mama Bear. You know what I think of when I hear like a woman who calls herself Mama Bear a lot? All I can picture is Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson calls herself Mama Bear. Do I know this for a fact? No. I feel it on the inside. If it turns out she doesn't have children, then consider this a prophecy. That's what all the good prophecies end with. The King of the Jews shall be born among us. And then it's like, count on it. This has been a prophecy. This has been a John the Baptist production. And then John the Baptist slipped on a banana peel and he died. That's what it says in my Bible. I have the joke Bible. So I don't know if any of this shit's real. Just like the regular one. Alright, I'll see you next week.